All right, can I ask you a question? Okay, until this candlestick breaks this one, right? Then we'll wait for it to get here. Then we'll buy from here. You understand? All right. Any other question? All right. So let's see what's going to happen. Let's play. See what's going to happen. All right. Okay, it's going higher. It didn't come back to that point. Okay, now look at it. It's coming back to our trend line, right? So from this point, we've just position here for a buy. But if it breaks it, we know that we are waiting for the next stop, just like the question you asked, right? So here we just position here and wait for an entry right there and see what plays how it plays out. Can you see from there it take profit smashed? Can you see that? Can you see how trend line works? So that is how we make use of trend line. So assuming, like I told you, assuming it gave us a new low here, assuming it didn't come back here, we'll draw a new trend line. That is how we cut this trade. Assuming we're waiting for it to get here without drawing this trend line, we won't be able to catch this trade. Do you understand? So that is why you have to have a dynamic look in the market using trend lines, right? Use your trend line dynamically in the market. Just make sure you are very flexible with the market. So this is one example. Let me see. Okay, this is all for it. All right. So let me take these ones out. I believe you understand this explanation I just gave now. All right. So now let's go to the lower. Let me draw this one again. The two that I just drew. Let me bring it back. All right. Let me just leave these two here. I want us to go to the lower time frame, right, and draw more trend lines. If you see a trend, note to draw a trend line in the lower time frame, we'll do it. All right. This is the daily time frame. Firstly, we go to the 4 hour time frame, right? This is the 4 hour time frame. Can you see this is the 4 hour time frame? So in the 4 hour time frame, can you see right here we can draw an uptrend trend line? Can you see it? Because of it give us what a new one here. Can you see? So we can draw a trend line like this. Do you understand? So that's how we'll use trend line to look at the market dynamically, right? Just look at it, the trend line, different time frame, but make sure you focus on the higher time frame, like daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, right? So whenever the market comes here again, we are looking at buying from here. You understand? But if the market breaks it, right, just like the question you asked before, we wait for it to get here and we'll buy from here. You understand? If the market breaks this one too, we wait for it to get here, then we'll buy from here. Do you understand? Any question? All right, so let's go to the 1 hour time frame. So let me just use this. We'll still go to other pairs. Let's just focus on this uptrend trend line more, very, very more, so that by the time we leave this uptrend trend line, it will be something that will be very easy for us to do. You understand? So on this 1 hour time frame, can you see I can draw another trend line here? Can you see that? Why? Because we're having something like this. Can you see? Give us a new low here. So I can draw a trend line like this. You understand? Now you can see this trend line I'm drawing here is from what? Body to body, right? Body to body. So that is one of the rule of all the trend lines, whether uptrend or downtrend. You can draw it from wick to body to body, but make sure that wick to body or body to body is serving as what? A zone, a support zone, right? It's buying from there for the uptrend trend line. Make sure he's buying from that point. Can you see when he got here, he bought again, right? So now this trend line means that what is it telling us? Telling us that if this price comes here again, right, we should buy. But if it breaks it, what are we doing? Wait for it to get here. buy, right? If it breaks this one, what happen? Wait for it to get here, right? To buy. If it breaks that one too, wait for it to get where? Here. So you can see we have so many opportunities to work with, right? All right. So now, since we have done our trend line, we'll go to 15 minutes to make our entry. 15 minutes is where we'll make our entry. Whether this price is has gotten here or not, or once it gets here, we go to 15 minutes and see whether we are supposed to enter a trade or not. That is 16 minutes, 15 minutes is where we'll make our decision, right? So from here, if I get to this point and I want to make a decision for a buy trade, I want to be seeing a bullish engulfing candlestick here. Do you understand? This is a bullish engulfing candlestick. Can you see this one that happened here? It gave us a bullish engulfing before it bought, right? So I want to see that same pattern, same thing there. You can see a bullish engulfing on this. Can you see this? This is a bullish engulfing right here. Can you see it? Bullish engulfing on the trend line. So I want to see a bullish engulfing on this point. At this point, I can put a box here and say I want to see a bullish engulfing on the trend line before I enter. Do you understand? If I don't see a bullish engulfing, I will not enter. Do you understand? But that bullish engulfing I'm looking for is on 15 minutes time frame, just 15 minutes time frame. But if I don't see it, I'm not entering. So assuming I was to catch this trade here, after I see this bullish engulfing, I'll just place the trade from this next formation. Do you understand? Put my stop loss here, put my take profit 1:2 or more. And you see is either it hits my take profit or is yes to hit my take profit. Do you understand? So that is what we are waiting for here. To place this buy trade, I cannot place this buy trade unless I see a bullish engulfing on this trend line. Do you understand? All right, so that is it. Okay. All right. If I want to place it, if I want to, okay, that is if I'm about to place a trade here, right? If I'm about to place this trade, where will my stop loss be? Now, let's say the price came here, right? My stop loss will be below this point here. Okay, let me mark out the points. This point, let me see. Right, this point. You see this point here? This is the last high it gave before it broke it, right? So my stop loss should be below this point, below this zone here, this high. Notice this zone I drew here, this line I just drew here is zone. Let me change the color of this. Let me change it from black so it will be different from the rest. Let me change it to red. Can you see this zone I drew here? My stop loss should be below it, right? Then I can make my entry a little bit, wait for it to come to a little bit below this trend line, just a little bit. Once it touch the trend line, come a little bit below. That's when I'll make my entry. So that my stop loss is going to be small. But my stop loss is going to be below this high it's made here. Do you understand? This high is made here. Now, why did I put my this stop loss? Assuming I was making a trade around this point, my stop loss will be below this low here. Can you see this low that is here? This low. That's where my stop loss is going to be. But because I don't have any low here, right? That's why I'm putting my stop loss below this one. Now, okay, what if I see something like this? What if the price did something like this? Now look at another way for me to set my stop loss. If the price came up, sorry, came down, did something like this. Before it got here, did something like this. Before it got here, right? And go up, right? So I'll put my stop loss because of this thing that I did. I'll put my stop loss below the lowest point that I got to here. Do you understand? So that will make me decide my stop loss. But since I've not seen that here yet, right? I've not seen what the price is going to do yet. That is why I'm still saying I'm still looking at this one, right? This one here. But until I see what it's going to do, right? In the future before it gets to this trend line, that is what will determine if I'm going to where I'm going to put my stop loss. Whether I leave it here or I bring it closer, tighter. Do you understand? So any other question? So let me take all these ones out. All right, let's go to Pepe. 1,000 pep. And this is 1,000 pep. So let's go from the daily time frame. From the daily. Let me clear this now on the chat. So from the daily time frame, can you see my chart? All right. So any question before we continue? All right. So this is the chart, and remember you're looking at uptrend trend line, right? So from the daily, this is the daily time frame. So if we zoom out on the daily time frame, we can see an uptrend trend line like this, right? Or let's say let's do a little back test here, right? Before we draw the trend line. Since we can back test on daily, let's just do a little replay from here. All right, let's do a replay from here. All right, from here. So since we can work with replay on the daily, we can't work with replay on the lower time frame, but we can work with on replay on the higher time frame. So let's just play with this, right? So this is my trend line, right? Why is my trend line, right? Can you see? It follows my rule. I should have placed a trade from here. Can you see? From this is the first touch, right? One. It's following all my rule. Number one is below the price. Number two, whenever price comes there, is buying, right? It's sloping upwards. You can see this is the first touch, this is the second touch, this is the third touch, right? So I should be having a buy trade from here, right? Should be having a buy trade from here. Why? Because it's met on my rule, right? All right. So let me take this one out. Let me take this one out. All right. So you can see right here from this is from where body to week, right? Body to week. But remember, since it's body to week, it's followed the rule that that place must serve as what is zone, right? A support zone, right? For an uptrend trend line precisely. So that should be a support zone. You can see whenever I came there, bought, came there again, bought, came there again, bought. Right. So what we are looking at again is whenever price comes to this trend line again in the future, right? We are looking at what buying, right? You understand? But let me remove this one. But if we also see something like this, what do? We try a trend line like this. You understand? And wait for the price to come to that trend line. Then we do what? We buy. Remember, before we buy, we go to the lower time frame. But in this case, we can't go to the lower time frame because this replay can only happen on the higher time frame. That's why I want to use it as an example, right? So we might make a losing trade here because we didn't go to the lower time frame to look at it, right? But following this rule, we'll hardly make bad. Okay, let's you know what? Let's count how many trade that will lose and how many trade that will win, right? Without going to the lower time frame. You understand? Let us count it, but we are supposed to go there normally. We are supposed to go to the lower time frame, like 15 minutes, to see other decisions, other like candlestick patterns that forms on that trend line to help us make our decision. But since we can't go there because this replay can only work on the higher time frame, let's just say, okay, let's use risk management, right? To back it up and say, okay, let's see how many losing trade you're going to make, right? For using just uptrend trend line to place this trade. Do you understand? All right, so let's start to count the trade. From the first one here, I will, okay, let's say this is the first trade that we won. This first one here, because we should have taken this trade, right? So let's count it as one. Do you understand? So let's wait for the price to come to this trend line and see this is not valid yet. So let's wait for price to come to this trend line and then let's see what happens. All right, let's play. Let's see if it's going to give us a new low or come there. All right, can you see what happened? It gave us a new low, right? It didn't come to that trend line, it gave us a new low. So let's draw it like this. You can see this one is week to week, right? All right, so let's play again and see if it's going to come there. All right, it didn't come there, right? It didn't come there, right? So we can draw it like this. All right, it didn't come there. Instead, it went up. It gave us a new low and it went up. So let's say we left this one like this. We can draw a new one like this. This should have been a trade for us. Yes, this is moving very fast. That is why we are unable to catch it. There should have been our trade right there. All right, so you can see right here we have a trade. We have price coming here, right? We can actually place a trade from here, from this point, right here, because it's on the trend line, right? On the trend line. So let's see if it's going to break it to this point. We place on that one, or if it's going to go higher. All right, can you see that? That's our big profit, right? So this is, you can see we are just using trend line, right? Trend line. All right. So let's continue again and see if it's going to come back or give us a new low. All right. All right. This is like a new low here, right? This is like a new low. But because of the price has gone very high, we need to be careful right here because why? It has given us the highest point. So we need to be careful if you want to place a trade from here. Very careful. All right, very careful because this might break. It has a high capacity of breaking this one because of it has got given us the highest points that it's ever gotten to. Has ever gotten to, and it has not given us this low is not very valid yet, right? Why is this low not valid yet? We need to see for us to say this low is valid, we need to see this one go higher than this guy. If it goes higher than this point, then we are saying this low is valid. So let's remove this trend line first and wait for that candlestick to go higher than this point before we say okay, it's a good, because why are we doing that? Why? Because we are saying for us to draw a trend line, whenever price comes there, it means it's bought, right? It has not given us that buy yet, right? We are still seeing red candlestick. So let's wait until we see a buy like that. Okay, yeah, all right. This is a bounce right here. Can you see? That's a bounce right there. So we'll come here, place a trade here, right here, right? Place a trade here because it touched our trend line, right? So how many have we won? We've gotten two trades, right? Two trades that take profit, right? So let's see what this one is going to do. All right, all right. This is the bounce right here. All right, all right. So this one almost get our take profits, but using our risk management, we should have taken this to break even, and this should have been a secure trade. All right, so but let's still see the outcome. I think it's still going. You can see when it came down, it came to this trend, this it's like this one, right? Come on here, so we can still buy from here again. You can still buy from here. Came to this second one, you can still buy from here like this. All right, it's bought a little. This is like oscillating downwards. It broke this one, so we wait for it to get here again. You understand? So using risk management, these trades should have been secured because this one gave us a very good amount of PIP. It gave us more than one ratio two. So this one should have been a break even using risk management. This should have been a break even. Do you understand? Using risk management. If you bring it down here, it's still more than this is even way more than one ratio two from that point. All right. So let's move further. Remember, we are trading with just trend line, no other confirmation, just trend line. You understand? So this is it. We are waiting for it to come down here to buy again, right? All right, so let's wait for it. All right. All right. It gave us, look at what it did. It gave us another low here. Can you see this low? So this low from this point here, let me extend this one. Give us another low here. From this point, we can actually say, okay, there's a zone here and buy from this point. Curve the low that it gave us. We can see there's a zone here and we buy from this point right here. So once we see a buy, we can move our stop loss to break even and secure the trade. So right. So from there, we can move our stop loss to break even from there. This point. How many pips did you get? This is more than 1:1. Do you understand? More than 1:1. So right now you can see the price came back to where to this our trend line and did what? And bought from there. Can you see that? So you can see how trend line works. And this one bought massively, right? Now any trend line that got broken, just remove it. This one that I've gotten broken, right? We remove it. This one that I've gotten broken, right? We remove it. So that's it. You can see the massive buy right there. All right, let's see. If it comes back to that point, you're buying again to this point. You're buying again. All right, it's coming back there, right? It's currently there, right? So you can come here and buy again from here. That point, just below the this zone, just below it, you can buy again from there. Just trading with just trend line. All right, this one when this one was breaking the trend line, so this was should have been okay. It's still going. This one broke the trend line downwards. So you can see we are working with just trend line. Even as at that, you can see how so far this is the one bad trade we've had so far. One bad trade, right? There was no buy, just massive sell. I think assuming we look at the lower time frame, we shouldn't there wouldn't be any bullish engulfing on this uh trend line. Do you understand? For it to give this break, there won't be any bullish engulfing on this trend on the lower time frame to give this massive break. So that is how we can separate the losing trade from the winning trades. And even at that, we can still have some losing trades, right? So that is how the market works. Uh, so let's see. It came down. We can draw a new trend line. Let us see it buy a little, then we'll draw a new trend line. You see it buy momentum, draw a new trend line. All right. I think we can draw a new trend line here. This one's already been broken, so we can remove it, right? I'm drawing a new trend line like this. Can you see that? You can see the touch here, touch, touch, right? So from here, we can place a trade from here, right? We are seeing a bullish engulfing here, right? Even on this higher time frame, we are seeing bullish engulfing. All right, so this is it. Just using just trend line, just trend line. All right, so let's see how it plays out. See how it plays out. All right, you can see take profit smashed. Can you see? So this is just using just trend lines, right? No other confirmation, just trend line. So you can see how well trend line works. Take profit smash for this, and the price came back to this trend line again, right? Can you see the price came back to this trend line again, right? So we can come here again and place on that trade because the price came back to the trend line. Remember, we're just placing with just trend line, just trend line as we are using to place the trade, just trend line, right? All right, so we can place it on that trade there again. All right, you can see it broke it, but let's see how if it's going to hit top loss or maybe risk management is going to. All right, you can see just trend lines. We have a stop loss hit. All right, that's fine. So risk management is going to help us whenever we have stop loss hits like this. But once we follow the rule, well, we'll have more winning than losses, right? So far, we've had just two losses, right? Just two losses, and we've had how many win? We've had the first win like one, two. This is break even. Let's say break even, break even. We've had like three major wins, two break even, and two lose and two losses. You understand? So that is what we have had so far. Okay, so let's see if we're going to draw any trend line. Remember, we are just focused on we're just focused on the buy, right? Yeah, that's what I want us to get used to it. Like do it, just the buy. As we're focused on sell, we'll be buying, we'll be selling. You understand? We'll be making even profits from the selling aspect. You understand? But we're not talking about today, we're not talking about the selling part. Because looking at the chart alone right now, I can see a selling opportunity, right? I can see a selling opportunity right now, currently where the price is. But we're not talking about the selling parts because for me to track that selling opportunity, I have to use a downtrend trend line. You understand? A downtrend trend line. But we're not talking about downtrend trend line, which is more of the selling part. We're talking about the uptrend trend line, which is more of the buying part, right? I would also say, okay, there's a rule of the uptrend trend line which states that whenever the uptrend trend line is broken, right, it turns to what? Resistance. We can sell from there, right? That's one of the rule, right? So that is also something that we can look at. But okay, let me just make use of that rule here. That's because it's also a rule of an uptrend trend line, right? So even making of the use of the rule, we should have taken hitting our take profits, right? We should be our take profits. Let's play it. Yeah, we should be our take profits. All right, this should have been our take profits right here. Before the next move, we should have been our take profits. From here, the touch just targets these points here, and we should be at take profit. So but we're focused on the buying part because we're talking about the trend line. So we just make use of this whenever the trend line is broken. All right, so let's see what happens. Okay, right here, I think we have this one that has been broken right here. We can remove it. So let me just adjust it like this. Can you see? So from here, we should have gotten a buy trade from here. Why? Because we had a touch here. That's why you need to be dynamic with it so you won't be able to miss out with second touch. So this should be our buy trade right here, right? You understand? This should be our buy trade right here on the trend line because while we got first touch, second touch, so this should be our buying trade right here. And as we bought from here, we have taken our profits, right? And it came back down here to trend line again. We should be buying again from here from trend line again from trend line, right? So we should have been at take profit as well. So let's play on ahead and see what happens. If it comes back to trend line again, we are buying again. Can you see? It's even going higher. You understand? Because the trend line is something that works a lot, right? You have that does not mean you will not have. You can see right here we have the losing trade, right? So that does not mean you will not have a losing trade. You have a losing trade, but you have more winning trade, right? Than losing trade. And remember, we are just using only trend line, Now, imagine when we add it with our support and resistance, when we add it with our psychology level, when we add it with high and low belief, uh, it's going to be give us more confidence to enter the trade. But that does not mean we won't have a losing trade. We will definitely losing trade because you can't. Losing is inevitable, right? Yeah, you can't actually overcome losses, right? You can't say, okay, you won't be able to lose at all in the market, no matter how many years you spend in the market. You can't say, okay, you're going to the point where you don't have a losing trade anymore. But what is going to, like your own advantage is going to be that you're having more win than lost. Like, let's say you have 10 trade, right? You might have 8 win and 2 losing trades, right? You still have some losing trades, but they are lesser than your winning trades. That is just the advantage you're going to get. You understand? So you might have 7 winning trades, 3 losing trades. Maybe out of 20, you might have 15 winning trades, 5 losing trades, right? But your winning is going to be more than your losing trades. All right, so let's play on and see. No matter the strategy you're using, is going to be the same, right? You must have a losing trade. All right, you can see it's still buying. We are still waiting for a price to come to uh, back here, or if we see a new low here. I think I'm seeing a new low here. Can you see that? Because the price is doing something like this. Can you see? We should have gotten a buy trade from here. So we should have gotten a buy trade from here, right here. This buy upside. But let's wait for the price to come down again to this trend line, or if it gives us a new low, then we try another trend line. If it breaks this one, we look at a sell opportunity. All right. So now, right now, the price is currently on back on this trend line, right? So you can come here, place a trade from here, buy a trade. So if it breaks it, right, we're looking at a sell opportunity, or we'll look at if it's going to give us a new low. So that is it. So now it has broken it. Okay, I think it's going to buy from here. This point is like a zone, right? Our stop loss was too tight, right? So it was like a zone for this trend line is like a zone, right? In this kind of case, like I told you, the trend line is not a line, it's a zone, right? So let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens, because right now I'm seeing this bullish engulfing on this trend line zone, meaning it can still buy from here, from this point right here. Can still be expecting a buy, but if it comes down to this point, then we're expecting is a buy from this one. So let's see what happens. Okay, you can see it bought. Can you see it bought from there? Yeah. So the trend line, always remember, trend line is not just a line; it's a zone. So this is like a very good example to explain that zone, right? You can see when it broke the line, it didn't break the zone. Do you understand? This is the line, but when I realized it is serving as, it is not just the line, because when I saw this bullish engulfing, I said, okay, that means it's the zone is still affecting it for a buy. So that is why this trade came up, and boom, and you can see it take profit. So you can see from our winning and our losses, right, from just this daily time frame of back testing, right? You can see we have more winning than losing trade. We also have some break-even trade. That is where risk management comes in to help you minimize your loss and maximize your win. You understand? So do you have any question? All right. You are asking a question on downward trend line, downtrend trend line. All right, please. Let's limit the question to uptrend trend line for now. Once we get into the downtrend trend line, you can ask. Just write this question you're asking. Just write it somewhere in your notes. Whenever we get to downtrend trend line, you ask the question again. You understand? You so I want us to like go one step at a time. For this uptrend trend line, just ask question on uptrend. If you have, as you are talking about this uptrend trend line, if you have a question on downtrend trend line, just write it down so you won't forget it. So once we get to downtrend trend line, I say, okay, do you have any question? You can just go and ask the question. All right. So if it's this structure that is making you have the question, you can also maybe screenshot this structure, right? Screenshot it or maybe draw it or wherever you can remember it. So let me take this ones out so we can go to the lower time frame and draw more. And let's do it this one. So all right. So let's go to the lower time frame. Yes, correct. So these are the two trend line, up to trend line we can see from the daily. So let's go to 4 hours. This is the 4 hour time frame. So on the 4 hour, we can still see a new one like this, right? Can see a new one like this. That whenever price comes here, we're looking at buying. Do you understand? But if it breaks it, we wait for it to come here, then we buy. If it breaks it, we wait for it to come here, then we do what? We buy. All right. So that is what we're looking at. Then we go to the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, you're seeing something like this, right? Right? But it has not broken this zone yet. So this 1 hour is not yet valid until this price goes higher than this point, goes higher like this. Do you understand? That is when you can draw a trend line. Do you understand? That's when we can draw a trend line. But right now we can't draw it like this until this price go higher than this point here. Higher than this point. The price should go higher than this point here. Do you understand? That's when we can draw the trend line and wait for it to come back to this side to this point before we play the trade. So right now we're not drawing any trend line on 1 hour because we didn't see any place to draw it. So on 15 minutes, we do 15 minutes. So 15 minutes as well. So what we are doing right now, we are waiting for the price to come here. So whenever the price come here, that's when we go for a buy. You understand? So if the price doesn't come here, we will not do anything. Just focusing on this uptrend trend line alone. Do you understand? This is what we were waiting for. Whenever we see this setup, that's when we trade. If we don't see it, we wait. We can come here, we set a price action, a price alert, so that whenever the price get there, we can get an alert on our phone. Please add alert, right? Once you get the alert on your phone, you can go on the chart, see what the price is doing, look for your bullish engulfing candlestick on the trend line to enter your trade. Do you understand? So you can see why this trade bought from here is because we saw what a bullish engulfing candlestick here. Can you see it? Can you see it? Then you went or became here, give us another what bullish engulfing candlestick on top of the trend line, right? Then played around here, bullish engulfing again, bullish engulfing in the bot. So once the price comes here, we are looking for bullish engulfing candlestick here, bullish engulfing to buy. So any question? All right, should we do one more example? Then we'll round up, we close up for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Should we do one more example? You're good. All right, let's check down that pair. What pair are we looking at? BCH. All right, this is it. All right, let's go to the higher time frame, right? Daily. All right. So looking at BCH, so far BCH is just going up and down, giving me more of a downtrend vibe. But let's look at the uptrend aspect of it, right? Look at the uptrend aspect of it. So on the daily, we'll take the time backwards. So when we take the time backwards, then we'll be able to see how we can place trades using the uptrend trend line. Only one will see the uptrend trend line. So let me take the time backwards to this point. Okay, I think I see points here. All right, so right here you can see you can draw a trend line here, right? And looking at these points here, we can actually draw a trend line like this, right? That would have made us place a trade here. So we should have gotten a trade around here, right? Around here. Should have gotten another trade around here. Why? Because the price is touching the trend line, right? So we should have gotten another trade around here. All right, you can ask. Yes, I can hear you. You check for bullish engulfing on 15 minutes. All right. So once you draw on day, you can check for bullish engulfing on 1 hour. You can check for bullish engulfing on 4 hour. You can check for bullish engulfing on 15 minutes, right? But you don't execute until you look at 15 minutes. You understand? So whenever you see a bullish engulfing on 4 hours, you will definitely see a bullish engulfing on 1 hour. Whenever you see a bullish engulfing on 1 hour, you will definitely see a bullish engulfing on 15 minutes. You understand? So that's how it works. All right. So until it got broken here. So whenever a trend line get broken, it is no more valid, right? You can remove it. So we can draw one like this. Can you see? You can draw one like this. The price came up, came down. Can you see? It bought, it came up, right? Whenever it comes here, I want to buy again. So this should have been a buy trade for us right here. You can see this is from body, right? It is from week to body to week. So we should have taken a trade from here, right here, right here. Should have been our trade right here. And we have been at take profits. But let's play on and see what happens next. Okay, right. This is another trade line here. So it should have been another trade for us. I just saw this move now. Should have been another trade for us. Another trade line. All right, let's wait again. Let's wait, see what's going to happen. Okay, it has come back to that point. Hold on, pause. You can see it came back to the point, this trend line here. Start breaking this one, it came back to this one. So from this point, we are looking for a buy trade from here. A buy trade from this point right here. Put our stop loss below here. And should I take profit? We're looking for a buy trade from here. Then if it hit that stop loss, then we'll look for that entry as well. Because that's the trend line right there. So you can see give us a bullish engulfing. It came to the trend line again. Can you see? It came there again. So we can place another entry again from here. From the trend line again. From the trend line again. And let's see how it plays out. So from here, we can be moving our stop loss to break even once we see that profit, just for risk management sake, because we're already in a very good profit. This is already more than 1:2. This point is already more than 1:2. You understand? So already more than 1:2. So we can move our stop loss to break even to secure the trade, but it can still go higher than that. Or you can see it's still going higher than that. So still hit our take profits irrespective of, right. You can see it came back to where, right. You can come here please again. Please trade again. But we are saying it's going to still affect it. So from here we can move stop loss to break even if you see the price going. This is looking like it is consolidating from here. So this trade can be closed or moved to break even at this point. Because from this trend line, you should have seen a higher movement, but it's looking like it wants to give us a new low. You understand? After the break. So let's wait and see. It's looking like a downtrend from there until we draw a new trend line, because this one is no more valid. This one is no more valid. You can delete this one. You can draw a new one, right? But before we draw a new one, we want to see a good move, right? A good move, something like this. Like if we draw one like this, we want to see this move go higher. But we won't draw this yet. Let's wait to see the move happen first. All right, it has gone higher. So now we can draw like this. And you see, so if the price comes there, the price didn't get there. So we can draw down like this. Any question? All right. All right, you can see it gave us a new high, and draw and down like this. So I've gotten this trade right here. When it gave us this one, give us this one, so I've gotten a new trade, an entry here, right here on this touch. So it's an entry there. So from here we should be expecting a downward move, because it gave us a massive high. That's a massive high right there. So let me remove this one, because there are some moves of the market. When you study the nature of the market, once you see the move, you won't place any trade. You just let it go. So you can see right here. If you can see right here, this trend line we drew earlier, the price came there and it gave us this reaction, right? So we can take a trade here. That's already on our take profits. So we are waiting for the price. If it comes back here again. All right. This is a move right here. Missed out on this one. Can you see this? Missed out on this one. This is actually an entry we should have taken. Because sometimes you see some moves that you miss in the market. You just come, and I would have been in the market to take this trade. You understand? So you can see this is a move missed out on. So this is how trend line works. You can see how trend line is effective, right? So coming back to this point, so you just tapped the trend line. So you can come here and do what? Place a trade here. Yes, just tap the trend line. That's just tap. So once you see that we should have been at break even here. Once you see this profit is already more than 1:2. This is already more than 1:2. We should have been at break even. This should have taken our break even right here. Using risk management, that is actually basically how you should be doing it, right? Once whenever we see 1:2 profit or 1:1 in profit, we should be at break even. So from there, we should have been at break even. All right. So this one came down here, this massive push down. So this one is out. This one is out. This one also is out. So this one is still on. Do you understand? So from here, we can come here and place a trade from here. Understand? I come and place a trade from here. All right. Okay. So let's see how it plays out. You can see take profit smashed already. Now it came back there. It didn't. We are waiting for a reaction. Then we'll go for another buy. All right. This is a good reaction right here for on the trend line for another buy again. This is a good reaction for another buy. All right. It comes to the trend line again. Once it touches the trend line, can go for another buy again. This one should have been a break even or yeah, break even or just closing profit. This one, if it hits it from here, we can take another trade again. Remember, this all this trade you are taking, we are only taking it from trend line, not from any other place. From trend line. If you hit our stop loss, fine. You understand? But we are taking it. We made sure we are taking it from trend line. Okay, this one is already giving us consolidation by below trend line. So from here we can just close this trade out. Do you understand? It's already giving us below the trend line consolidation. So we can come here because of trend line has been broken. We can go for a sell trade here, or just look for another buy. You understand? We can go for a sell trade here, or look for another buy. Because if it has been broken, I just say okay, short it from here. Just a small short, small shots right there. But it should be 1:2 or more. Just make sure this 1:2. So you can see Twitter take profit. Can you see? Trend line has been broken. The fourth row. Whenever trend line is broken, to serve as resistance zone. All right. Yes. So wait for another opportunity to draw an uptrend trend line. Remember, we're talking about trend line. That's why we are not really focused on downtrend trend line. All right. So we are still waiting for an opportunity to draw another trend. This one is already out. We can actually delete this. It's no more useful because it has been broken. So whenever a trend line is broken, it's no more useful. You understand? All right. So whenever it has been broken, retested, and you've gotten your sell trade set up, just remove it. It's out. It's invalidated at that point. So you said you're also using um, the SMC concept as well, right? So if I want to explain this trend line using SMC concept, it's going to be like a different, it might even become more complex to understand, right? But since I'm saying trend line, trend line, trend line, it looks simple, right? Yeah, but if I start to use SMC concept, because if I want to explain it using SMC concept, I'm going to be saying something different, right? But it's still the same thing that I'll be saying, but it might just mess with your head up that what's this, what's that. You understand? But I'm still going to be saying the same thing as this trend line, but just different words that has a high chances of messing what you already understand. Yes. So this trend line, we also have break of structure in this trend line, right? This trend line we are doing right now, we're having break of structure, we're having other block, we're having fair value gap, and those are SMC concepts. So if I want to explain this trend line in and attach it with the SMC concept, right, it's going to be complex. Trading is more is better when you make it simple for yourself. All right. So if I want to add, okay, let me see if I have another opportunity, and I will try to just add it there. The SMC concept. Since I know we've made like several examples using this, so I don't think it's going to really mess it up, but just add to what you already know. But if you think it's messing it up, just erase it and just stick to what one you know earlier. You want to have explained earlier. So right now we can see there's the trend line here. We can actually draw a trend line here like this, right? You understand? I want to draw that trend line like this. Can you see what I'm drawing? I want to draw down like this, right? Then whenever price comes back here, now this is now remember we are saying whenever price comes back here, right? Now let me use this one as an example. If the price comes back here, right, we are going to buy, right? Now if the price is coming back here, wow, which other reason is it making us to buy, right? If you are using the SMC concept, right, we'll be saying there's a break of structure that happened here. You can see when the price came here, it came here, and then it broke this point. Can you see this level? This was the high it gave. Now it's breaking it to give us a new high. So this level is called break of structure. Do you understand? This breaking of this zone here is called break of structure. Let me mark out the points with this. So this is called break of structure, BOS. So this level that happened here is called BOS, break of structure. Do you understand? This is called BOS. Now, because of this is called BOS, right? If the price is coming back here, we are saying if there's a break of structure, there's going to be a fair value gap. So if this price is coming back here, we are saying it's going to have create a fair value gap around this point called FVG. FVG, fair value gap. You're going to create the fair value gap around here because whenever there's a break of structure, there's going to be a fair value gap that is going to be created, meaning the price is going to come back to that point where it broke that structure to fill that fair value gap before it goes back up. Do you understand? So that is using the hope it's not getting confusing. All right, that is when we use the concept, the SMC concept. So let me take this one out. So let me use. All right, you can ask a question. You can ask. Yes, it can be called a, yes, for price action it's called support. Yes, for price action you call here support. Using price action, you call this point that this was a resistance zone that got broken, right? You will see that in price action, you see this is a resistance zone that got broken, that's going to come back onto support and go higher. Do you understand? But for SMC, you see that's a break of structure that's going to turn to a fair value gap that is going to be mitigated when the price comes back there. Can you see? I'm saying the same thing, right? But in a different way, right? Let me take all these ones out. I'm saying the same thing in a different way. In a different way. I can also see there's a trend line here that when the price come back to this trend line, I'm going to buy from there. Can you see? I've deleted everything now. It's looking like just trend line. Do you understand? But when I added everything, it's looking, yeah, it's okay. There's a SMC concept that will say there's a break of structure, fair value gap coming back. Same thing, there's a support that resistance that got broken that's going to turn to support. So for trend line, we are saying there's a trend line that's going to come here. Whenever it comes here, we are buying, right? So that is just how all the concepts work. Now, no matter the concept you are using, right, you will still have bad trades. You will still have some losses in your trade. You understand? No matter what you are using, right? So that's where risk management comes in, right? So let's keep on with what we're doing and see what happens. All right, can you see the price came back down there to the trend line? So the same thing, the price came back to fill in the what? The fair value gap after break of structure. You can use any word you want to use to explain it. I can say the price come back to my trend line. I can see the price broke my resistance, came back to support to buy. I can see the price broke structure, come back to form to mitigate the fair value gap for a buy. I can see the price came back to other block to buy. So you can use any one you want to use, right? But you just pick one, choose one and just use it, right? Because no matter the one you use, you are still going to have a losing trade. You understand? So there's no one you use that you say, oh, you will not have any losing trade. So that is how it works. So let's see what happens here. If it's going to sell or buy from there. So this one is okay. It's giving us, it already broke this trend line. So since this trend line is already broken, and remember on this trend line we didn't see any bullish engulfing, right? So we can actually close this trade. Why are we closing the trade? We didn't see any bullish engulfing on the trend line. So it has a chances of selling from there, right? High chances of selling from there. Because once trend line is broken from the rule of uptrend, right? We're expecting a sell trade, right? So that is it. We're expecting a sell trade from there. Can you see? Yeah, so that is the rule we follow. So you can see the rule that is already written down in your notes is actually what's happening in the chart, right? So once you follow the rule and follow this practical, master the craft, right? Over time you're good to go. Yeah, so we are waiting for it to come back to these points, right? They will buy, right? To this trend line. So it's coming to the trend line. It's coming to the trend line. We can buy from here. This should be our buy trade right here because this trend line right here, this trend line right here has been tapped. We can adjust it like this. You can see why I say we can adjust it like that. This is it. From week to week to body. Can you see this body? But make sure it's serving as, I can delete this one. It's already broken. Right? Make sure it's serving as what? A support zone, right? So we can actually take a buy trade from here. So you have to be very dynamic with the markets so you don't miss out on the trade. Sometimes if you are scared, you can miss out on the trade. This should have been our trade. All right, so let's wait for the price to come back here or give us a new low. So waiting for it to come back and give us a new low. This is looking like a low here. All right. Any questions? All right. All right. So let's see. There's no bullish engulfing on this. So we can wait for it to break this point, then we adjust it. If this price break up here, then we can adjust this trend line there. If it does not break it, we can remove the trend line. If it breaks it, we can okay, look at what it did. We can add it like this. I see it like this. We want it to break this level first before we can place the trade there. We want to break that level first. Level, that level must be broken first. This level is up here must be broken. So let me remove this one first. So if you have a question, you can ask. All right. So this is the trend line here. But before I confirm this trend line as the valid trend line, I want this level to be broken like this. Then I'll mark it up as a trend line. So we are just trading with just okay, that's it. That's it right there. That's it right here. This is it right here. So we should have taken a trade here, because we have a bullish engulfing right here. We have taken this trade right here from here. Right on trend line. Bullish engulfing on trend line is a good sign to trade, but it might give you some bad trades sometimes. But it's a good sign to trade. So once it's broken, you go for a sell. Go for a sell. Once it's broken, go for a sell. If it gets down here, we go for a buy. Alright. So this one is already broken, we can remove it like this. So we can go for a buy from here as well. And you see that. So basically this is how we use it. This is basically how we use. So you can do your own research. Do your research. I think we've come to the end of of today's class. Do you have any question? Any question? No question. All right. I want to do your research. Look at the different time frames. You can also try the back testing on different pairs. You have your trading view in your phone. What you have to do is you go to your daily time frame, right? Because your replay, even on your phone, is gonna you are still able to do your replay on your daily time frame. So go to your daily time frame on your phone, on any pair. Just do it on several pairs using this uptrend trend line. So from the next class, we'll just do a revision of this, and then we'll dive into the downtrend trend line from that is tomorrow. All right. All right. So send my regards to your family, send my regards to siblings, your friends, and make sure you recommend the trading class to those that are interested in it. Yeah. So I hope you've learned something today. All right. Any questions? Any questions? And I hope you've written those questions you have on downtrend. By tomorrow, we'll be discussing downtrend, trend line. I hope you've written the questions down. All right. All right. All right. So let me take this back. Let me leave it like this. All right. So no questions at all. All right. That's so we are come to the end of today's class. Make sure you do your revision. That's going to help a lot. Come to the charts, even if it's one time, uh, one moment. Just look at the charts. Even if you're not doing anything, just look at the charts. It helps your psychology to understand the trading better and reduce anxiety in trading as well. All right. All right, my bro. See you in the next class. All right. So come to the end of today's live stream on YouTube. So make sure you watch those videos I've done down on the list. Go through the videos. Make sure you watch them. I remember myself, Jibin Oji. Make sure you click the link to use XNES or FBS to subscribe to your broker if you are new in trading. If you already have your account or you already have a Profcom account you're trading with, make sure you join the Telegram channel. We have dropping free signals for everyone. Everyone can partake in that. And also from the Telegram, you can get to my DM personally and ask me any question, ask for my number. I also have my WhatsApp number in the description. You can get in touch with me on WhatsApp. And if you want to join the mentorship plan as well, you also see the Telegram channel as well as the WhatsApp. So see you in the next class, guys.